Welcome everyone to another episode of Tuck and Tell. Tuck and Tell is a solo video version of My Girl Life podcast. Today, I'd like to talk about chosen family. I often use the phrase chosen family when I'm referring to my close friends, and it's not lost on me how important they are in my life regard to promoting mental and emotional well-being. They just keep me sane and provide me love and support, and quite honestly, we have a lot of fun. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a great blood family, but in reality, I spend way more time with my friends than my family. One of the main reasons for that is my girl persona, Maddie. And while most of my family does know about Maddie, I don't dress around them, and they've never met Maddie in person. I've only experienced her in pictures. So while I'm glad I came out to most of my family, and there are big benefits to doing so, they can't really support Maddie in the way my chosen family can on a day-to-day basis. So here's where my chosen family comes in. They know pretty much everything there is to know about me as a person. These close friends, whom I call my chosen family, are the deepest friendships I've ever had. And I have some great long-term friendships. But it's an amazing feeling and a privilege when you can totally be yourself with others. I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about, and quite honestly, that could be the biggest benefit of your chosen family. You know, when you ask a couple what they love best about their new relationship, and a very common response is, I can just be myself around them, right? Sound familiar? That's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to discuss some of the reasons why chosen family is so important, particularly to the LGBT community. I personally think the sense of belonging is one of the biggest, strongest benefits of our community due to the ridicule and the hate that we sometimes endure, as well as our isolationist tendencies in society these days. So, reason number one, the power of chosen families in LGBT communities. For many individuals within the community, chosen families are a vital source of support, acceptance, and love. These families often formed through shared experiences, struggles, and bonds, providing them a sense of belonging, validation that may be lacking in their biological families. So let me share a story with you. When I first started going out, I was in the phase of feeling guilty, like I was doing something shady. It was in secret. And so I would get a hotel, I would dress in the hotel, and then of course I'd take pictures. And then I would go to a nightclub called Trax. It was a LGBTQ nightclub. And there I would just go and mill around and maybe dance a little bit. I didn't really talk to anybody except the bartenders because they served the alcohol. And I did that a few times. And then I finally met a person named Rachel. And Rachel was Maddie's first friend. And so we hung out and we talked and we felt more comfortable having each other there. And we probably met maybe 2 or 3 times. And then one time she invited me to girls' night out, which was one Saturday night a month. Her and a bunch of other girls, some crossdressers, some trans, would get together for dinner, and then they would all go to Trax. And so she invited me to that, and I started going, and my world opened up. All of a sudden, I had more friends. I had somewhere to be. I had obligations, and it just felt more real. And that was a watershed moment. Then I got on Facebook, and that changed everything. I consider some of my Facebook friends chosen family. And of course, I don't know everybody personally. Some people I barely know, and some I don't know at all. But there are quite a few that I know really well, and I consider them chosen family as well. So now my world has opened up tremendously, and I felt even more acceptance and even more normal. And I had a ton of friends, and I had places to be. I had people that were relying on me, and now Maddie had a sense of purpose. And that's an amazing feeling. This is when the guilt and the shadiness feelings went away, and I started to feel proud of Maddie. I was proud of Maddie. And I was proud of what I was doing. And this was a paradigm shift for me. And I don't think I would have reached that phase without my chosen family. And for that, I sincerely thank all of my friends. I thank you, Rachel, for being my first friend. And I thank everybody who have helped support me in my journey. And I love you all. So some of the reasons why chosen family is very important in the LGBTQ community. A support system. Chosen families serve as a support system, offering a safe space for individuals to be their authentic selves without fear of judgment or rejection. They provide emotional support, guidance, and encouragement, helping individuals navigate the challenges of being part of this marginalized community. Reason number 2, a sense of belonging. Chosen families give individuals a sense of belonging, which is essential for mental and emotional well-being. They offer a connection to others who understand and share similar experiences, helping combat feelings of isolation and loneliness. And these two things it's a dangerous path to slip down. Reason number 3, celebrating identity. Chosen families celebrate and affirm our identities. This provides a space for self-expression and growth. They help individuals develop a positive sense of self, which is critical for building resilience and confidence. And like I said, a sense of purpose. So just to wrap up here, I know as I explained in this short message that it sounds pretty simple. And of course it was not, and it is not. I had to take some risks. Once I did have friends, I had to be a good friend and a good communicator in order to create connections with people. Look, if you can't communicate or don't communicate with people, you'll never become close to them and they will never be considered chosen family. It also helps to be vulnerable, I learned. With people being vulnerable, that creates intimacy, which is a key ingredient for a quality friendship, a deep friendship. So it's not lost on me that there are some skills involved in finding and creating chosen family, just like there is for making friends or business acquaintances in any situation and in any community. You know, one thing I hear a lot from people is this group is cliquey or that group is cliquey. And I really have to push back a bit on that because yes, there are some scenarios where people are cliquish and it's hard to crack that shell. But most of the time, people just gravitate towards the people they know. When they go to an event or they go to a business convention, you see groups of people who know each other talking, and sometimes it is hard to break into that conversation if you don't know them. So you have to find a way to start conversations and make your way into those groups. I know it's not easy. That's a whole nother skill set, maybe for another podcast at another time. But if you write them off as being cliquey, you'll never connect with anybody and you won't be able to get to where you want to go. Anyway, I hope everyone can be intentional with regard to making their connections within the community. I know it's going to serve you well as you go through your personal journey. To accomplish this, you're going to need to engage online if you can, and not just consume. You need to participate or try going out to a local establishment like I did. I strongly suggest you go to an LGBTQ friendly establishment for your first few times. Also try to attend community events like TGR and Wildside and many others around the country where it's safe and you can express your true self, where you can create and nurture your new friendships. And for a lot of people, it's life-changing. Let me tell you a story quick about Wildside. When I used to go out and I would go to Vegas or anywhere, if I'd stay in a hotel, I was really worried about getting dressed as Maddie and then going into the hallway, into the elevator and being in the elevator with somebody. I was mortified. So what I would do is I would wear my boy clothes underneath and I would make my way down the elevator and out to my car. And then I would take my boy clothes off and then I would finish getting ready. But it was at my first Wildside event in Vegas that it gave me the courage to dress in my hotel room, walk out and go down that elevator dressed. And yes, I was a little nervous the first few times, but eventually I was totally fine with it. And I credit Wildside for giving me the courage to do so. Just being around all the girls in public just gives you a bunch of confidence, and that confidence carried over to when I was alone and I could do that. So that's all I have for today. A quick housekeeping item. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel below, as it tells me I'm doing things that are connecting with you and it will allow me to continue doing so. So thanks for listening. And remember, be bold, be kind, and be you.